blessings on me. Everywhere I go, there'll be. Everywhere I go, there'll be blessings on me. Blessings on me. Everywhere I go, there'll be. Everywhere I go, I can feel it. I can feel it. Blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, there'll be. Everywhere I go, there'll be blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, there'll be. Everywhere I go, I can feel it. I can feel it. Some blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, there'll be. Everywhere I go.
Listen. I'm just so excited. Listen, everywhere I go, there's blessings, there's blessings, there's blessings. There are blessings. Listen, this is the recap of past week. We did the 9th annual Celebrating You Women's Conference and Expo. Listen, I am just so super excited. Let me go and stop sharing this part of the screen. Mhm. All right, everywhere I can go, I can feel it. The blessings, the blessings, the blessings on me. Listen, I just had to jump on. So little throughout the night, we're going to be joined by some of our friends. Yes, some of our friends that joined us over the past 2 days last weekend. Listen, it was called The Setup. The Setup. So let me break it down. So we had a plethora of speakers that came to us from all over, from basically all over, virtually, in person. And I see one of them popping in a second. I'll bring them on so they can share some of, we're just going to kind of do this reflection, and just do a recap for those who missed this amazing event that occurred last weekend, last Friday. Friday we kicked off virtually. Yes. And then on Saturday we were in person. So I really can't wait to share with you some of the amazing speakers who are going to come and just kind of just, like I said, we're just going to recap. We're going to recap. And I got some from the handy dandy notebook from my Doc Ock, who was our commentator last week. She actually sent me her notes from her handy dandy notebook. So I can't wait to read them to you. So let's see, who do we have? Let me see. I don't know if she will pop up, but let's see if I can get her to come pop in. There she go in the car. In the car.
In the car.
What's going on, Mo?
How you doing?
I'm doing. Listen, blessings on me, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if you got a chance to see, I did a slide, I did a reel where it was like all the flyers from all the amazing speakers for the 2-day. Look, I'm doing a brother man thing for the 2 days. For the 2 days. Listen, you are always in the car. Listen.
Yes.
But I'm just so glad that you are here. And last week you were in the building.
Yes. Okay. So look, sometimes I'm on the ethereal plane and sometimes I am present. Right now I am in the car, ethereal, coming to you. Just hanging out and sharing some light and love.
Light and love and light, all of those amazing things. So listen, last week, and I can't believe that I'm saying last week.
Right.
It feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It really feels like it was yesterday.
Absolutely.
Last week was the 9th annual Celebrating You.
Yes.
Women's Conference, CYWC and Expo. Let me show them this again real quick. That's what it was. And today we're doing the recap. So we're just recapping what occurred over the past 2 days, because it was 2 days. It was virtual on Friday, and then it was in person on Saturday. So you blessed us on Saturday. So I can't wait till we get somebody on here that was virtually with us. But Saturday, we're gonna go into. Did you get a chance to tune in on Friday?
I did. I did.
Well, then you can.
My goodness. Let me tell you. And then listen, and I wasn't in the car. I had just gotten out of the car
You wasn't
and
in the
ran
car.
inside. But oh my goodness, just on fire. The whole segment was just so beautiful and it just flowed so well and the spirit was there. Everything was needed. Every speaker was just so um giving with the information that they had, the knowledge of, how it is to become better in the things that you want to do in life, better in your finances. Um, just wanted to open up and be a better person. I mean, everything was just on point and it just flowed through continuously. And if you didn't get a chance to see it, you got to watch this recap because I mean that the recap can give you some of what was being felt, but I tell you, it had me so moved and motivated to be ready for Saturday that I was still hyped up when I got into the building. So it was just so amazing. And then if I could share with you on Saturday that I mean once we got into the flow of what the purpose for the day was, I mean, just oh man, you gotta experience the nine in a new way. You've got to experience the nine in a new way because that's what it was. I mean, I had been to the conference virtually for 7, and then I was present for 8, and then again for 9. And when I tell you, it just it married everything together. It was like that combo meal that you always wanted to have with every nuance of what you want the most. That's what it was. And listen, when I tell you that it was meant for all of those that were in the building, it was meant for all of those that were in the building. Because again, the flow of energy and the knowledge and the power that was in that room, and the love, the acceptance, talked about forgiveness and then the realization of an outer body experience coming from just trauma, and then going into how you build your business and follow your dreams, and talking with the dream cream specialist Lamar. It just was such an easy flow. Such an easy flow. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it. And I want to talk about Kiara and how she's just doing all these positive things and motivating women and anyone that has been, that they're sorry, they're I'm having a brain fart here. Okay. So anyone that has been mistreated and their rights have been, you know, um, just taken advantage of, they are, just doing so many wonderful things. And you've got to see all these replays. You've got to see it. You've got to get the information. You've got to get the help. You've got to get the power back into what you want to do in life, what your purpose is. You've got to want to see this to know that 9 was on the move.
9 was on the move.
Yes,
I like the way you just broke that down. 9 was on the move. 9. Who's going to break down what 9 signifies, right? Because it was
uh,
definitely on the move. And I like the way you say, because you were there, you were virtually for 7. You were in person for 8, and
yeah,
then you were both for 9, right? You were virtual because I
yeah,
do
yes,
now remember you were on with in some of a lot of the comments. And it was just like you said, it puts it all together, and to be able to experience it
Yes.
in multiple years, right? You can see the progression, you can
Yeah.
see the flow, you can see the shift. That was the word that came out of
Absolutely.
Saturday. The shift. The shift.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I,
Yes.
man,
Yes.
listen.
And also, look, and also listen. The setup was perfect. The setup was perfect because it was. We were all set up to meet. We were all set up to embark on this message that just was so needed at this moment in time, and so ready for hey for 10. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. So ready for 10. So you better be ready for 10.
Look, look, look. As Dr.
That's
Tandy would
right.
go,
Get your decade on.
listen, get ready for 10. Man,
Yes.
that part, 10.
Yes.
You can't get to 10 unless
Yes.
9 happens, right? You can't get to 9 unless 8 happens. You can't, like, when I break it down,
Okay.
like, year 5, it seemed like year 5 was yesterday. And here it is, we're about to get to year 10. I'm just kind of, just like I said, I'm just taken back, and wait till you kind of clear back in. You froze up a little bit, but listen, you guys, like you heard from Monique. Monique was there for the, to see it on virtual, to see it, in person, and then to experience it. And it was the setup. We went from the first year being, uh, gosh, Lee, when I can think, I gotta really go back and really break down all of the themes over the years, right? She'll be back. So all of the themes over the years, it was, being transformed. That was year 5. It was about being transformed. I think year 4 was being fearlessly free. Year 4. So if I can go back to some of our themes, I know starting year 4, I can't recall if I did any themes. I know I didn't do any for year 1. Year 1 was just basically celebrating phenomenal women, right? And all that they do. Year 2 was a continuation. Year 3 was a continuation. But I definitely remember year 4 being living fearlessly free. And then it was, or maybe that was year 3, but I know it was basically be magnified. I needed you to
I'm back.
be
I'm back if you can
transformed.
hear me.
I know, that's what we talking. I knew he was coming back. Be transformed. That was year 5. Then year 6 was in the pandemic. That was being virtually you. So showing up virtually, right? Just still being you, being virtually you. Year, wait a minute, where am I at? So that was year 6. Year 7 was the assignment. Year 7 was the assignment.
Oh my God. I've actually been from 6. From 6.
Virtually you. Virtually you. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah. That
God.
that was virtually you. Virtually you. Then it went to virtually you to yeah, I just said it. What did I just say?
The assignment. The
The
assignment.
assignment. Right. The assignment. Yes, that was
Right.
the assignment. And then last year was it's happening. Year 8 was it's
Right.
happening. And
Right.
now this is the setup.
Ah,
This is the setup. But if you really pay attention, all of it was a setup.
yeah.
Every single year has been a setup to lead up to where we're at today. And I just can't be so man, I'm just so in awe when I start thinking about it. It's like, oh yeah, this happened and that happened and this happened. So wait a minute. So I have so Doc Ock, right? She had her handy dandy notebook. She was taking some copious notes. So
Yes.
she wasn't able to join us tonight for the recap, but I got hold of her notes. You want to do a recap? Let's do a recap of these notes. Her handy dandy notebook. So let me pull them up, shall we? Let me go to my messages here. So let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. We have here. Ah! Okay. Wait a minute. While I pull up the notes. Oh shoot, let me see something. I just got word from somebody that they're there with one of our. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. See, this is what's happening real time, real time, y'all. Real time. Trying to see if I can get somebody to pop on just for like a split lickety split second. But in the meantime, let me go to her copious notes. Her copious notes was of such. What do you remember? So let's see what you remember, and then I'm a. So we had our first speaker we had was Shavannah Moore. Do you remember what her tidbits were?
Put me on spot because that was when I was in the car, getting out of the car.
Okay, well, who do you remember? Who do you remember? What's the okay? Now so let's not go in order. Just give me something that you remember.
Um, and I wish, because I got what she was giving us the nuggets on.
Oh, what happened? Uh-oh, she's going again. She's going again. No, what happened? Okay, so I'm gonna send this to let's see. All right, so I don't know where she just went. So anyway, so let me go back and I'm gonna read the copious notes and messages that we got. So she'll be back in. She's because she's driving, you guys. So she's in a car rather. So as soon as she gets cleared, I'll bring her back in. So listen, so we have Doc Ock. Doc Ock, she gave us some amazing notes. So we talked about Shavannah Moore. She talked about for health and wellness about trust, and we break down trust. So she basically said trust was to take the first step. And when you take the first step, okay, so she jumped on. She's on here twice. Let's see.
No,
There we go. On a
okay.
you on a different call, different. What happened? Why you?
Uh-uh. I don't know because it pushed me out. But you know how it happens. We go through this all the time, even
We
when
go
we
through
just
this all the
talking on the
time. So
phone.
you right here. You right here. You right here. So here we go. So we got trust. So we got to trust this process, right? We got to take the first step. That right, right. We got to take the first step. We got to take responsibility for our actions and inactions, right? We have to understand yourself and know who you are authentically. Like I know I am two pencils shy of a full case of pencil cases. Okay, I just know that already. I'm already a couple pencils short. I already
I
know that.
join you. I join you.
Yeah. I'm missing some of the colors in my crayon box, but that's okay. They're broken, but they still color. That's all I'm going to
There
tell
you
you.
go.
The broken crayon still color. So so take responsibility. Okay, there it is. Surrender. Ooh, surrender to
Yes.
your authentic you. I do surrender to my authentic because I know I am. I can admit. I tell people all the time. I am that wonky, Charlie Brown wonky tree.
Yes.
That'd be me. That'd be me. That'd be me. That'd be me all day, every day. So take stock and integrate what you know, who you are, and
Yes.
everything that you do. Man, those were some nuggets. I'm telling you, you got to go on. You got to break it down. Listen to everything she said. She gave us some gems, some gems.
Yes.
So then we had Champagne talking about starting a business, and she said the hardest part
Uh-huh.
about getting started is finding a sponsor.
Right.
Finding a sponsor, someone with good reputation and credibility to vouch for you. She said working with your peers and your network. Ooh, your network is your net
Yes.
worth. She didn't say that, but I'm saying that your network is
Yes.
your net worth. I'm just saying. So then we're gonna go to Sasha. Sasha talked about your brand. How do you
Yes.
show up? How do you show up with your brand?
Right.
Understanding your why, your budget, your projections, networking, collaborating. That word, collaborate.
Okay.
That
Yes.
word, that part, that part.
Okay.
Remain teachable.
Yes.
Remain teachable because there's always something to learn, right? And
Uh-huh.
then and prioritize your self care.
Yes.
Always find some time to self care. Like I could talk about After finishing out, I disconnected for a couple of days because that was my self-care. I truly disconnected so I can reconnect, right? I disconnected so I
That's
can
right.
reconnect.
That's
That's all part of self-care. Then we got to the power couple.
yes.
Do you remember oh, go ahead. What you about to say about that?
So, oh man, they summed it up. There is no her without him, no him without her. I was like, oh yes. I mean, it's and the way that they work together in their message. Oh, woo! Just you could feel the
Mm-hmm.
passion of their collaboration, not only as a couple, but as a business powerhouse couple, working
Yes.
together just to
Yes.
be in harmony because they understood and continuously understand there is no her without him and there's no him without her. I mean, hey, it was just amazing. It was amazing to hear
If you want to
and
catch that
hopefully.
replay, right, exactly. If you want to catch that replay, I know you can't get all that, but if you just go into the chat, the link is there in the chat. So you can go to the replay
Yeah,
to see exactly what we're talking about because you're right. Man, them coming together was
yeah,
so powerful. So powerful
yeah,
to share. Like you said, Ricardo said, I couldn't write my story without her.
yeah,
And she was like, she can't write her story without him.
yes.
I'm gonna see if I can find them and pull them up because they were. Oh, here we go. Just a little snippet so we can kind of get a little bit a taste of what they had to say.
Yeah.
Man, let's see. Let's see. We can get a little recap of that. Let's see. I don't know. We're gonna try. We're gonna try see if we can get a little bit
Okay.
because I'm telling you, they were powerful. And
Yes.
they literally talked about. Let me say. I went back to my copious notes. She said that
Okay.
find a word, find a
Mm-hmm.
word that will carry you through the year, and get an
Right.
accountability partner because they
Yeah.
were accountable for each other.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Accountable for each other. So, I mean, listen, let's see. Let's see if we can pull them up and just see what they had to say for a second. Let's see if we can do a little recap.
Live, and we're just happy to be here. Thank you so much.
So my name is Lee Sandra, the way Carolyn said it. She said it all with that sass. So
All right. So we're getting there.
I love how she introduced us because you can't have him without her, and you can't have her without him. So we've been together for 20 years plus, right? So we've been together since we were like 6 years old, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just kidding. But we're a dual entrepreneur household, and I just I have to say that it's something when you decide to take on a task at work on a 9 to 5, and everybody is open to have whatever they want to do. But when you go to a 9 to 5, you exactly do that 9 to 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you clock in and you clock out. But when you're an entrepreneur, you never clock out, right?
Mm. Wait a
And
minute.
you
Did
work
she just
8 days a
drop
week,
some nuggets?
25 hours a day.
When you
But
are an
it's
entrepreneur, you
you have
never
two
clock
avenues, right?
out.
That's right.
That part. You never
That's
clock
right.
out. Like
No.
they left some. I'm trying to tell you,
Yes.
everybody dropped it. But those two,
Yes.
those two, you never clock out.
Nope.
I mean, you're an entrepreneur. You do
Yeah.
multiple things. So I mean, what do you guys say about that? Especially after following the other two, talking about the business and getting started with businesses and things that are required. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of, they are each other's accountability partner. Never clocking out. You want to talk about that? You want to listen?
Um. So never clocking out is your bread and butter because it keeps you current. in whatever business that you're in. Because if you're constantly thinking about how can I do this better, how can I make this better, what would I need for, my products to move throughout the community like I want to, and then you have a tendency to also talk to people about what they want, what they're looking for. So you're always, even if it's just a general conversation, it's still in the back of your mind, that's a great idea, or I should have thought of that before, or um, how can I utilize this to work for me? How does it make my business move better? What am I comparing my business to? Is there someone else out there with the same same type of idea, but how can I stand out from that? So you're constantly in business mode. So yeah, you never clock out.
Never, ever, ever, ever clock out, right? Even when you have a 9 to 5 on top of the 9 to 5, on top of the 9 to 5, you don't
Okay.
clock out. I'm just saying you don't clock out. But
Yeah.
listen, I just saw Andrea. She popped on and said, "Good evening, ladies." I had to tell her good evening. I just sent her a message. If you want to come on and join us, you can come on and join. She's sending me a message now. But listen, that was one of the memorable ones for me because here's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how that because Ricky is part of Him Story. I'll call her Ricky,
Right.
Ricardo. So I have Him Story book in front of me. No, but what I can do is pop up Him Story. So Him Story, which
Mhm.
is an amazing book with 15 kings, and we heard from a good group of them
Yeah.
the other day, and that was Him Story, bam, right here. Him Story, honorable, intelligent, matured. That's who we heard from. We heard from him and some of the other amazing. Listen. We also heard from some amazing queens from the Her Story too, right? We
Yeah.
also heard from the Her Story. So I mean, we just had a whole ball, didn't we? We had a whole her and him thing going on.
Right.
But those two, though, let me say, okay, those two. Look, I got people contacting me behind the scenes. So listen, then after that, let's see, who else we got? After that, we had LA. I always love when he gets on LA because he will tell you there's no excuses. He comes
Right.
on, he says, listen, there's no excuse. He's blind. And he says,
Hmm.
listen, there's so many things that he has accomplished in his life. So he said, there's no excuses in anything. So no limits, no
Right.
limits, no excuses, no limits. So he said, there's ABCs to success, right? ABCs to success. And those were achieving personal goals, always making time for personal development. And here we go again. That's self-care,
Yep.
right? That's
Yep.
self-care. And then B, building strong relationships and taking time to cultivate them. C, career growth requires a certain level of leadership, which all leads to financial prosperity. So that was so key as well. That was key as
Yeah.
well. Then we went into Charles and we just kind of went into a whole gamut. But that was just Friday.
Right. I think that.
That was just Friday. And then here we
Yes.
go. Here comes Saturday. Now I know that you'll be jumping off with us soon because I know you're on your way to go have some fun at a Christmas party. Yes.
Christmas play. Well, play and party. So yeah.
Play and party. You know why I said Christmas party? Because today is Bev Brooks' birthday. Shout out to Bev Brooks. She's 50 today. Yes, and she's actually at a Christmas party. So shout out to Bev Brooks.
Awesome. Awesome. Happy birthday, Bev.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Gotta send the shots out. The shots out. Shots. So let me see. So, all right. So we got, let me send her the link. We got Shantae trying to come in. Whoop, 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 whoop. But I'm trying to think where is she at? So I'm gonna tell her it was in her, okay, Facebook. Okay.
Stay on
So
long enough and see if I can say hello to them before I go.
yeah, before you go. So, I mean, but here's the thing too, right?
Mhm.
So, excuse me, you guys, while I'm trying to multitask with a whole bunch of other things, but one of the things that I learned in this whole process because of the
Mhm.
setup is
Right.
that you keep going.
Yes.
You keep going. No,
That's
no
right.
matter what. You keep going.
That's
And I
right.
can't wait for we had on Saturday was full of challenges. Let's just call a spade a
Yeah.
spade.
Yeah.
Saturday was full of more challenges than I ever wanted to think about, but it was challenges. But
Yeah.
you ever heard of like the calm before the storm?
Right.
I didn't realize that until after the fact because for some reason I was super calm
Yes.
leading up to I was super calm,
Yes.
which is so usually the opposite. You freaking out because there's so many different moving parts and there's so many things that have to get done. But I was
Right.
super calm.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're here. And it just there was like a major shift
Yes.
that occurred, and I can't wait for her to get on and pop on and share that shift.
Yes.
We had technical difficulties. We had weather difficulties because it was just
Right.
like fog
That fog. Yep. That
that
fog
came,
was
that
trying to
fog.
get us. It was trying to get us, but no.
And then you notice right after one things kind of cleared up, so did the sky.
Yep.
And it was bright and sunny, like it never even happened.
Yes.
So it was like, what
Yes.
is that all about? It was
Okay.
so many different things. You just have
Um.
to look with a different eye.
That's right. That's
Look with a
right.
different eye. But at the end of the day, you keep dancing, you keep
Yes.
going, you keep
Yes.
moving, you keep
Yes.
doing, giving all honor and praise and all kinds of stuff. So hey there, just goddamn going to try the best. Okay, all right, cool. So that's Masania. She did
Okay.
the Men Don't Talk panel. Woo!
That.
That
Oh man.
okay. I gotta sit back for a second. Let's talk about listen. If you guys hello, tell me you guys where I see you guys watching. Tell me where we'll give you a shout out. We saw Andrea from Florida. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Tell me, put in the chat where you're from, and we'll give you a shout out. But let's talk about this Men Don't Talk panel for a second.
Okay. So when you think you've heard it, that you've been there, that you've seen it, that you even that maybe okay, well yes, from the last one I understood and I'm a better listener now. Oh no. Oh no. Because the men were talking. And I mean just so much so that they almost couldn't talk past the time because it was just that amazing. Let me tell you, if you don't understand that our men have so much knowledge to share, I mean, even just the everyday, then you really don't understand at all. You don't understand, and you do need to listen. You do need to recap with them um what they're trying to share because oh my gosh, it's just so enlightening, um absolutely heartfelt. You could see errors that you've made. If you want to be honest and truthful, you can see where the errors that you've made that you became too emotional about it. And we as women, yes, we hate hearing, oh, don't tell me I was too emotional or I didn't understand. Well, that's where the breakdown happens, where we're not listening
Mm-hmm.
because we get too emotional about it instead of actually hearing what was said. If
Say
you
that
don't,
again. Say that part again. Say wait a minute. I gotta zoom you in for that one because I think the recap for this people really get and I can't listen. Go for it.
okay, so if you are too emotional Okay, and we as women don't like that word. But if you are too emotional in that moment, you cannot hear what is being said. And they are actually saying a lot. They are letting you know how they feel, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, but they are sharing with you how they feel. So you have to take yourself out of the emotional and listen to the reality. Be rational about it, be rational with it. And the conversation you can have will flow. You just have to listen. We have to listen. I won't say you because I'm included in that, because you see where your mistakes are. If you just listen to what they're saying, you see where the mistakes are, and you can rectify all of it just by listening. Just by listening.
Mm, just by listening. That part right there, just by listening. Just by listening. I'm gonna see if I can get part of it to pop up. I'm not sure if I can, but we will see, because I
Okay.
know that there was a snippet, just a snippet. I don't know if I can. Let me see. Did I? Oh no, I went live. Let's see if I can find that snippet. Because if I can find the snippet, that way we can share
Okay.
with everybody.
So far, it's in the same areas. Oh. Are you able to find it? Can you hear me? Okay, I no longer hear or see you, Carolyn. Uh, but I hope you're able to find it. Yeah, that's where the thing is. The parking is gonna be. All right, so I gotta go. But peace and love. Amazing, amazing, amazing. If you guys can still hear me, please take and check out that recap. All right. It is well worth it. It's well worth to check out the recap. All right. You guys take it easy. Have a great night and prepare yourself for 10. Prepare for 10. All right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Monique. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, Monique. So listen, technical difficulties happen, and that's why you keep it moving. Thank you so much, Monique, for jumping on, and she closed us out. So while she was on, giving her recap of her visiting and being part of it, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Mind blowing, mind blowing. So listen, I can't wait to see who else. We got surprises. I'm not sure who else is going to pop on, but I'm here and I'm ready. So let me see who can I give a shout out to. So I have okay, awesome. Thank you. So I have some more copious notes from the handy dandy notebook from Doc Ock. So let me pull up her notes once again of the recap from Friday. So let's see. I gotta go now. I gotta find them again. Where's my notes? Where's her notes? Where are her notes? I had it up and I lost it. Listen, give me a shout out to let me know where you're from. I see Gracie. Gracie, go and check your link in Messenger because you should be on this side of the house so you can bless us. So we need to hear and see you come on this side as we do the recap. So go to your Messenger and you will see the link so you can come on backstage. So I can pull you up and show everybody and share everybody who you are. So listen, you guys, we have had I'm just going to say that I've been truly blessed. And that's why you heard the thing came on say blessings on me, because none of this could even exist without all of you, without all of you watching, without all of you participating, without all of you supporting. God has placed all of you in my life for such a time as this, for such a time as this, for the setup. It's time to elevate. So, and every year I kind of go, okay, so what's going to be the theme? And that happened, like I said, starting, I believe either year 3 or year 4, I started putting a theme on it. And it was whatever that was placed in my spirit. And for something, Doc Ock and I, we were talking and something about the setup came up. And I was like, oh my gosh, the setup. And I remember I wrote about that. It's the setup. Like everything that you've been through in life, everything, I mean, everything is a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup for things that you would never have imagined. It's a setup. The things that seem like, why is this even happening to me? This doesn't make any sense. It was because it was a setup. All the things that were wonderful and great, it was a setup. See, I say 2024, there's going to be so much more that's available to you. There's going to be so much more that these doors are going to be opening for all of you. It's going to be open doors, open season, open doors. That's what's flowing into my spirit. It's the setup. It's time to elevate. And see, these messages that I get, they're for me and they're also for you. They're for all of us. Because listen, when this past week, like I said, I had to go into kind of retrospect. What's going on, Queen? What's going on, Queen? Grand. Listen, we got Selena Mary Kay. She blessed us. She blessed us last week. She jumped on. She was always behind the scenes. So she's in the middle of doing her comedy show, I believe. She's in the middle of doing something amazing. So always something amazing. So just for her to even jump on and say that, I appreciate and love you, Queen. So listen, I'm trying to think what I was saying. I was looking for the copious notes. I was looking for the notes from Doc Ock. But, like I said, everything is a setup. I am just so honored that God has allowed me to use my voice in such a way that, and I hope that everyone who's watching can really truly understand that your voice is your superpower. Your story is your blueprint. It's your message. It's everything that goes behind it. So the setup. Let me just give you some backstory behind the setup, right? So there's this book called His Grace is Sufficient, right? We kind of maybe know that Bible quote verse. His grace is sufficient. But then the next part said, he turned my mess into a message. And here, this was in a time period when I was all in with my positive thinking, which I still am, right? And changing my narrative and, turning negatives into positives and positives into negative. Did I do that right? Turn negatives into positives, right? And so to hear that word, because I remember there was a quote that I had up on my wall at work, and it was like, your test is your testimony your mess is your message, your trial is your triumph, and things of that nature. It was turning those negatives into positives, but I couldn't see it that way at the time, right? At the time, I just focused on the negative word, the mess. And I was like, I can't subscribe to that. That means I'm admitting that my life was a mess. Hi, my name is Carolyn, and my life was a mess. But this kept coming to me. So here, I need you to, if you have something that circles back to you and it shows itself to you over and over and over, I need you to pay attention to it because it's coming to you for a reason. It's coming to you directly for you. That message that's only for you. So that kept popping up. I was in the process of finishing up Magnified Thoughts, a transformational journey to reveal your amazing you, right? And I was in the process of also writing a story or one of my chapters in I'm Fine, A Woman's Silent Cry. And from that point, I man, from that point, let me just see if I can remember exactly everything that went from that point. So this is when I saw this book about His Grace is Sufficient, turn my mess into a message. And I'm going to tell you that I was in denial. I was in that river, denial. I was in denial. I was in denial. I was like, my life is not a mess. Yeah, it was. But I knew I had a message, but I would not subscribe to the mess part. But it kept coming to me. It kept coming to me. It wouldn't go away. That's the problem. It wouldn't go away. It just kept coming to me. It kept coming to me. Let me see. Selena, I don't know if you're available now, but I'm gonna send you the link if you want to pop on. Just in case. So I kept it kept coming up, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And when I thought about this verse, this Bible verse about His grace is sufficient, and I'm like, yeah, it is, right? Because He's giving me grace and mercy everywhere that I go. And then I thought about the message. I'm like, wow, the message in my story of being molested by my biological father, by using my voice to stand up for what was right, for releasing and freeing myself from the guilt and the shame and all the things that came with it, that part. And then I realized that's my message. And then I realized, oh God, this was the setup. This was the setup. You set me up, God. You set me up for my purpose. You set me up for the assignment that you need for me to do. You set me up to be transformed. You set me up. Are y'all following what's happening here? You set me up to allow me to know that it's happening right before my eyes. You set me up to allow me to know that it's time to elevate. It's the setup. So we were talking about this. And I'm like, that's it. Because I kept getting these words that kept coming to me. It was like elevation, elevate. And I was like, I was feeling it, but not quite. But then it was something about the setup. And I'm like, that's it. It's the setup. It's time to elevate. So anything and everything that's in your life right now, it's the setup. It's the setup for what's greater. It's the setup for what's required. It's the setup for everything and anything that goes on in your life. It's just a setup. So that became the theme for this year. For the rest of this year, the setup. I pose to you. Let me see if you put in the chat the setup. I want to see the setup in the chat. And I want you to think about what God has set you up for. You know, we are coming to the end of the year. This is the time when people are, yes, I see you, Juanita. Yes, it is. This is the time when, you know, we are thinking about the things that we did do and the things that we didn't. But the thing that I think that stands out the most, we always focus on the things that we didn't do. And then we set these goals. We set these lofty, stretchy goals going into the next year with things called, I forget what they're called because I don't even do them anymore. But what are they called? Help me out, y'all. Resolutions. Thank you. A resolution. Thank you, Spirit, for giving that to me. And we set these resolutions, but we have to really get to the root cause. So why didn't you accomplish what you said you wanted to do the last resolution, and the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that? We probably have the same one over and over and over again. So, but now that it's in front of you, this book is open and it's like, oh, okay, I missed that part of the memo. I missed that one. So now it's the accountability. We heard part of that trust from Shavannah. Trust, the accountability on yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you bring to, knowing your mess, knowing your message, knowing that it's a setup. If you don't believe me, just look at my life. It's a setup. So here we are. We go to day 2. So we had day 1. It was virtual. This time last year, I put the link in the chat. Thank you, Juanita. I put the link in the chat. If you want to go ahead and watch the replay from last week, amazing. Now, here's the thing. Day 2 was in person. It got to the point where now that was supposed to go live and stream as well. Sorry, let me sit up a little bit. That was supposed to be streamed live as well, right? But it was the setup. Let me tell you how and why. Let me tell you how and why it was the setup. It was also the setup because I had year 9. Year 9. Can we just say year 9? Just put 9 in the chat. Just put 9 in the chat. 9. 9 is such a divine number. It's right. It's setting you up for, like, 8 is your new beginnings. 9 kind of has that same premise. And I'm going to get to what 9s are in a second. I'm going to pull that up so I can give you the definition behind the 9. The 9. Oh, that's it. The 9, the 9, the 9, the 9, the 9. So leading up to this point, I had to get to a place and space where I'm like, okay, what are we doing? How are we going forward? I ask these questions all the time, and I have to get instruction and direction, right, from the source that guides me, right? Because I trust and I believe. And when I get the go ahead to say go, it doesn't matter if it's a day, it doesn't matter if it's a week, it doesn't matter if it's a month, it doesn't matter if it's a year. When I get the okay to go, I go. I know it never makes sense to anyone, but yet it makes all the sense to me because I know from where it comes from. And so even for those who are trying to get there, I see you. Listen, that wasn't the time, but it was time for you to hear this now, right? So everyone that was there was appointed at the right time and the right moment. And there will be another time to be assigned for the right appointment in the right time and the right moment. So in the process of all of this, right? In the process of all of this, we had, I'm going to go pull up the 9s so I can give you some background of the 9s. So wait a minute, let me see. Don't ask me why I just made that noise. I have no clue. But in any event, so listen, everything is all set up. Let me walk you through it. Everything is all set up in the process. We had all the speakers lined up. We had our praise dancer. We had the entertainment lined up. We had everything all lined up. Everything was all lined up. Everything was in order. So we thought. See, but it had to be in God's order. It had to be in that specific order. It had to be within the point of what are you going to do? How are you going to move forward when you get obstacles? How are you going to persevere? How are you going to press forward? How are you going to continue? And that's why I said it was this calmness. because I've been involved, I've had things occur that kind of make you go, ah, but it was so calm. It was scaring me to a certain extent. I don't ever recall being that calm, but yet I understood pulling back the assignment. And that meant we had to move forward no matter what. So I will tell you that the year before, so let's just paint this picture: the same space, the same time of year, the same method, the same everything, but the outcome was so different. So the outcome was different to the point where last year there was hardly enough room to receive. There was so much going on. There was so much activity. There was so much movement. I mean, it was just amazing. The energy was amazing. See, the energy was still the same. It's just that the space, what occupied the space wasn't. So now you flip and you're this year where you have the same space, yet enlarged. And there's no one to fill the space. It's like, whoa, this is different. There was no one to fill the space. So, but what do? You press forward. Okay, we're going to stream live so that way the rest of the world can be part of what we're prepared and ready to do. Pause. No, we're not going to allow it to work. Now, it worked before, but for some reason this time it's not working. Okay, well, let me try to at least go live on my phone. No, it's not going to work. Okay, well, let me at least try to take some pictures. Nope, it's not going to work. We also heard you got to surrender. That's what happened. Had to surrender. And supposed to flow. So part of getting everybody we still want peace for y'all while we get some more guests. I was about to say, help me out, y'all. What was I about? Life for me, it just escaped me. Just 2 seconds, because that's all I'm going to do. In the meantime, this space of things that were going awry and was, nope, you're not in. You're in. Nope, not in. Okay, this is a sidebar to you are in YouTube. I need you to go into your messenger and click on allow you to come backstage with me. So let me see if I can give you guys of something. Ooh. See if I can share the screen again. We have let's see if it well, a studio. Okay, so let me see. And I think
Hello.
all right.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
I have bad signal or
three
something.
and all. But I don't even know. We this thing. Just recapping. That's all I'm doing. I'm just taking this story.
Oh, I have a
Just to
bad
keep
signal.
moving. Keep moving, keep dancing, keep moving. That's the only thing we can do. So let's see. I think we got them now. There we go.
How you
I
doing?
see
Is
it.
that
What's
better?
going on?
Oh, everything's good. How you doing?
Everything is amazing. I'm just trying to work through these kinks, man. Just trying to work through these. So you don't have no issue. You don't have no kinks. You ain't got no more hair on your head. So you
And,
ain't got no. Maybe on your chinny chin, right? But not up here. So you gotta work through these kinks.
yeah, I
What?
said, let me get on here bald headed.
Yeah, get on here, bald headed and whatnot. So listen. Thank you once again for being part of this reunion. It's like a reunion.
Yeah,
You were part of year 6 or 7. Seven.
yeah. About 4 years ago.
About 4 years ago. Was it 6? Was it 6 or was it 7?
No, we did two of them virtual,
We
and
did
then
2 virtual.
I
Yes.
did then the one live last year, and then the one this year. So whatever, -4.
That's 4. You right.
Yeah,
Listen, let's chat about that. So we just recapping. I
right on.
mean, I know for me, I had to go into a whole week of just thought. I had to go into this time to just kind of sit back and think about what just occurred, what happened, how did we get to the 9? How did we get to the 9? And it was the setup. What has been your your observation, your expression, your experience, just being part of it for these years. Wow.
Well, it's been good. It was good to do it online. Boss Lady and CL, and I met you, and they said you're gonna perform virtual. So I said, okay, no problem. Do the Queen of the Wobble. So I said I do Queen of the Wobble. Then the next year I did the Queen of the Wobble again virtual, which is fun. It's good. And the one we did last year, at that point they told me to come. So I'm assuming just to perform again, and I got presented an award from having the me and Nyla for having the most spins on WBNC, which meant a lot also. And also at that point I had decided I was going to release the book that I had wrote. And being there last year, seeing Steve the Legend and everybody's banners and everybody that had books there, that was part of his story that was coming out, and her story 2 was coming out. Her story 1 was already out. So I was like, yo, this is how I want my book. Next year I want my book to be here. And at that point I don't even think I mean I had a manuscript, but I didn't have anything else besides that. So to be invited this year and to have my setup, it just meant so much. Everything that I dreamed of and wanted to do, from looking at how it was and how great it was last year, it was an honor to be invited this year to do it and have the book, the slide up banner, the books on display and everything, and get to perform and not only perform, we performed the 2 new songs. Well, we did one new song from the album, the EP, which is the same name as the book where I'm from, Past is History. So we did Past is History, Rise and Grind, Queen of the Wobble. So it was like full circle and to me, so to me, being invited, and it was a dream come true. You know.
Mm, I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and I hope people can gather what you just said. It was like you saw it and you're like, I want to be here. You made a declaration.
Mm-hmm.
You manifested something like more powerful than you even realized, because you said, I want to be here like this next year. I want my book that
Right.
you didn't even have yet.
Right.
Right. I was like, I want me a banner. I want to be here. And then look what happened in the span of that year. That was truly the setup,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You being part of it, doing the Queen of the Wobble, doing, get up and be
That.
somebody.
Rise and grind. And then the new
Rise and
song
grind.
we did Past is History. So the funny thing, the past, we made history from the past, because I was like, yo, I really, at that point I decided, when I decided to go ahead and really move forward, it was the motivation of the conference last year to get in contact with you to even be a coach, because I liked how everything was set up, the how the hotel was decorated, how everybody had their table, how everything looked so nice. It was so beautiful. I was like, yeah, this is the woman I need to have as my book coach. And I got to get in touch with her. So, and like I said, it wasn't easy getting in touch with you either, because you was promoting, at that point, him's story, her story too, and the book that was already out, her story, the original. And he had all these authors, and I was like, she ain't gonna have time for little old me. But I was persistent. And you didn't say no. You just was like, okay, I'm gonna get with you. As soon as I get done this, I'll get back with you. I didn't forget you. I heard pray on it. And I guess you wanted to make sure to see if God tell you, like, yo, this is a good guy to work with. He's serious. He's gonna, whatever we do, we're gonna manifest a book. And like I said, at that point, I knew. So once I got you, I knew that how I wanted the cover to look. So I got Zamani to take the perfect picture, and so the cover was in my head. Everything was in my head, because the whole idea was to have everything set up, including my album book release party, which I thought was the end all, the be all of the completion, because we had the banner. You was there as my special guest author, and it was just beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful turnout, beautiful show. Everything was fabulous, but no, it wasn't over until I got back to the Expo, to the CWY. I mess it up every time. CYW
See.
C CYWC conference expo, and have my setup and have everything just like I seen it the year before. Only thing, I was included into the scenario, and it was just a beautiful. I was just on cloud nine the whole day. You know what I mean? So no matter what the devil tried to do to deter or distract, or everybody went along, and I prayed while you prayed, and it was just everything to me was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as the feeling that I had, like, yo, this is where you're supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to go down. The devil is here trying to distract and deter, but it was like, devil, you a liar. He's here because he's supposed to be here. She's here because she's supposed to be here. And I'm here to tell you that I think next year it's probably even going to be even bigger. Like, we had to endure everything we had to endure. We endured it to get to the setup for the next phase. Like, because, most people would have been like, yo, I'm out of here or whatever. This ain't. I sold 2 books. I sold a CD. Just sitting next to in that beautiful ballroom that I was in the last year. This year, same beautiful setting, same beautiful hotel, only that I'm included into it with my book that you helped me with. Can I say what I said? Like, on stage, I said, you're like electricity. The power that runs through you, or the vessel that you are, you are a conduit to make everybody else get excited and go further. All the authors that you work with and the places that you've been this year was amazing. Like, I mean, just seeing that is just motivating me. Like, yo, you get ready, because whatever electricity is hitting this young lady is gonna hit. It's gonna hit you too. So it's like you're gonna be electrified too. And we just had to get through the expo, and stand tall, head up, but go right through it. Like I said, to me, it was beautiful. Everything was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It was just a nice day. It was everything was so nice. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. This is and so you guys heard it from him, right? So like to hear this, and when I tell you, just my whole inside feels so warm, and I'm like, I'm trying to hold back some tears back here, because my cheeks are hurting, because you never really, and this is why it had to be the setup, right? It was the setup from before, we didn't really truly understand those moments of being in the pandemic, but I just knew that I had to continue it. Right. I said, listen, if Dr. Oz can use Zoom, I can too. Right.
Right.
That's why I was like, if he could do this, I could do this. And so that's why I just kept going. And I just kept going. It was like the ever running, but I tell you, that first year, I think we did the conference like every quarter. I was it was like it was it just never ended. And I think that's how we landed on it being in December. Because a lot of people ask me, well, I thought it was earlier in the year, and it was, but it's kind of like an evolution, right? So we celebrated that whole year of just because there really wasn't anything to do. We were stuck in a house, in the house board. So it just brought this energy. It just brought this like this fire that just, like you said, it just went to so many different people. And so I am just so like, oh, I see you, Gracie. You're in the right spot now. Yes. Just stay there. So I'm just like listening to you, and I'm hearing, like, and that's why I want people to really, really understand, when you have a vision, when you have something in your heart, you have something in your mind, and you see it just as clear. Nobody else has to see it. Nobody else has to understand it, because it was given directly to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see yourself in a place and space, and to call it and says, I'm going to do this next year. I'm going to be here next year. I'm going to look like that next year. Not knowing the how, you just knew the what. And then it happened in the process. And I remember we was working together. He was like, I can't believe. I said, just wait, just watch. He was like, well, what's happening? Stuff was kind of coming in the midst with that too, right? Trying to stop it and keep it from happening. Not having a producer, not having a song, we just going to listen. You kind of get this the calm before the storm. And I think God wants us to, that's part of our test, right? To see if we're going to continue with the assignment that he's given us. And trust us with the vision that he's given us. And then, like you said, it does come full circle when you're like, you sat there, and like you said, nobody else knew like what that meant to you.
Right.
You're like, yo, y'all don't understand. I was in this room last year, and I saw myself here last year, and I'm here this year. That's powerful. That if nobody got anything from that, I want you all to visualize where you see yourself. Put yourself there and allow yourself to be aligned. Get into the right alignment so that way it can manifest and happen for you. What God has for you, he has for you. That's you are truly an example of that. And little would anyone know what that moment meant for you. And I'm so glad that you got the opportunity to share that, because I'm really trying to keep the little knot in my throat down, because I feel like I'm about to start crying. But man, talk about just being that celebrity, right? I see you rocking celebrity boxing. Shout out to Damien. Yes.
Yeah, he's doing amazing things with celebrity boxing, and who was another part of me getting the book, because he pushed me like, yo, you need to write a book. And I was like, I already got a book written. Yo, you got to put it out. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna put it out. He's like, well, let's do it. Come on. he's just a good motivation. And Shelly Shell, him and Shelly Shell really push hard.
Show, yes.
And just to see his vision and how he's doing with the fights and the performances that I've done with him over the last 4 or 5 years is just amazing. Now he's sitting down with Dame Dash and on the New America Network that Dame Dash has, and they on a podcast together yesterday promoting the next event, which is March 9th down at the Showboat. It's going to be a music fight night where artists are in the ring going head to head.
Okay.
With Dame Dash hosting and judging the best artists. So
Oh,
it's like
wow.
his vision that he had as a dream, and him and Dame Dash was talking about it too last night, that being a dreamer. Like he's like, I'm a dreamer. He said, that's all I do all day is dreams. He said, sometimes I gotta wake myself up. Damon Dash said he has to wake himself up sometime because he don't want the dream to be just a dream in the sleep. He want to wake up. He want to daydream to make it happen while he's awake. And he said all day long, all he does is dream, and it's about following through with the dreams, because everybody dreams, and there's very few people that say, "Oh, that's just a dream." Most people say, "Oh, it's just a dream. I could never do that." But the people that say that that's a dream, maybe that's and being though I dreamt it and I really wanted to happen, I can make it happen. But you got to make it happen. If God give you the dream and God give you the I just had this saying, he called, what did he say? He doesn't qualify. He doesn't, what did he say? He doesn't qualify to call. He called to qualify. No, he doesn't
Like, I
call.
remember you said that, yeah.
He doesn't call to qualify. He qualifies to call. So if he calls you, and another thing my bishop said, he said, God said, I don't know where to get this money from to get this book done. And he's like, where God guides, he provides. So everywhere he took me with my vision, he provided a way. And I said, and I look at you and your journey and say, wow, where God guides, he provides. Because you have these visions and missions, and then you're in London, and then you're giving boxing gloves out, and then you're in Barbados, and you're in Bahamas, and you're Bali, and you're this, and you're down south, and you're there. And I said, God, boy, you make it happen for this young lady. So I was like, boy, if you can give me a piece of what you give her, I'll be happy. I would be an amazed, happy man. And he has, because he's like the same thing he's done for you, he's doing for me. It's just like, yo, you asked for it. Not even you asked for it. You had a vision, you seen it, and it is what you asked for. And you actually in the lines with my will, because we can ask for a lot of things. If it don't line up with the will of God, sometimes you just basically on a crash course to be a crash test dummy. But if it lines up with his will, you ask for it. There's no way that you can't get it if you do the work that you're supposed to do.
If
Like,
you do the work, that's the key right there. If you do the work.
and is walking by faith, not by sight, and having the faith that everything that he gave you, you're gonna accomplish. And keep praying, because my other saying is have faith, pray, no, God first, have faith and pray often. So I was just praying often. I had faith, and every time I looked up, another part of the book was done. Another chapter was edited. We end up coming in early, because the book wasn't out. I had a September 15th date for my birthday, so we had everything done by July.
It was all done.
And then all I had to do was get the promotional items, which was the flyers, and that came easy too, because the flyers and I said I want a banner, and I said, how, I didn't have no idea where to get these banners from. And my guy like, yo, I can make that for you. The guy who make my flyers, Brian Cronin, was like, yeah, I make the banners, I make the flyers. And then it was like no expenses spared, because it was like at that point it was like, yo, I want to get it done right. So they wanted, hey, you want to do a book baby promo, and this how much that costs. I was like, yeah, get that. You want the banner to slide up? Yeah, get that. You want the pictures done? Yeah, get that. Yeah, get it. Whatever I need. You want the song done? Get that. You need
By
the
any
song
means
produced?
necessary. Get that.
Get that. And it was just like, all right, cha-ching. And like I said, even the song was like, we got like, we got the song. I want the song to come out, the title of the book, but I don't have nobody produce it. And then boom, next thing you know, my guy from Virginia, Smooth Mass Beats from 144,000 Chosen Few was he gave me the perfect beat. It was like God was just testing me the whole way to really say, I don't know if he wants you to quit or if he wants you to just be like, you tougher than anything that could make you quit. So just keep going. You're tougher. You're tougher than that. Keep going. You're gonna, and it's gonna happen. Just keep going. Everything that I wanted and prayed for, I got. So it was just a blessing.
Wow, 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 wow.
Including you as the coach was a blessing. I don't know if we've been able to pull it off with anybody else besides you. And the things that you did for me was like, it was worth, everything was worth it, because it was like, wow, I wouldn't have been able to do that by myself. Even having my computer at the time I had it, man, I hate computers, including like now I could have just easily got on this thing on the computer, but if I could have did the whole book on my phone, I would have loved to.
You would have did it, but it was like, no, Supreme, you got to get on your
I get on computer.
Gotta
I
get
got
on
on the
that
computer, and once I opened that computer, it was just like everything was just flowing.
Everything just flowed and flowed and flowed. It flowed and flowed.
The way you set me up to do the format the book. It was like I wouldn't have been able to do that by myself. The chapters all nicely set up. It was going back and forth through Word, and then you had it all, did it for me for Google, and then we edited it. It was just like, yo, this thing is happening. And then my whole thing was like, I had 114 pages, and I was like, is it going to be 114 pages? It's going to be a little book. And people was like, yeah, you can't have a book in 114 pages. You was like, nah, it's going to be way more than that. And then my book come out with 160 pages. I'm like, yes, it's a book now. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's a book. It's a book. Listen, I got two of the other ladies on here.
Yo, I don't want to hold you
No,
up.
no. Because what you said, it one of the things, it was kind of like a segue to Gracie, and you said, when you show up, right? Because you really never know what the outcome is going to be, but you showed up. So I'm gonna bring Grace up. Grace is coming to us from South Carolina. I see you wrapping up. You all nice and warm now. Coming from South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Here, I'll do that for you. What's going on, beautiful?
Hey. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, this is one of our queens, our Her Story, original Her Story authors, right? And we still trying to get down to South Carolina. Getting down there, we still working out. In God's time. It's in God's time.
Right?
We already claimed it, but we gotta allow God to provide. That's all we gonna say. We're gonna allow God to provide, just like you did for Supreme. So what you got for us, Miss Lady? What you got for us?
I really don't quite know what to say. My original speech, what I was going to talk about was health and wellness, because it's so important to to have health and wellness, especially at this point in time in our lives, and what's going on outside of our houses, and our food and water and air and everything, and stress, jobs, all that stuff is actually, what I'm seeing is taking a toll on everybody. There's stress everywhere. My daughter calls me almost every day, and she is like in a panic mode. And I'm just like, calm down, calm down. I've already lost one daughter who blood pressure went through the roof. I don't want to lose another one. So, and hitting on that, Carolyn had said something about a setup. When I met Carolyn, it had to have been a setup by God, because when I met her the day after, or a couple of days after my daughter had died. My daughter died, and I opened up a email, and there was an email in there, and it was from Carolyn, and I thought it was a fluke email, but I recognize her name because I took her course maybe about a month before. I took a course of hers on at her school, and I took a course, and I think I went on live one time. I went on live with her one time, and she said I was the only one. So I won, and I got to meet her in person with Les Brown and all the other beautiful ladies. Um, and that was a setup. And the reason why I say it was a setup, because it hit me at a place where I would have gone into a deep, deep, deep depression, because the pain I felt for my daughter when she died was a pain I had never in my life felt before. And I was in shock. My family was in shock. My other children was in shock. Um, it put me in bed. I didn't know how to handle it. My mom and dad when I was 32 years old. So I was kind of like, I fumbled through life. I fumbled through life, trying to make the best choices in my life. And but nothing prepared me for losing a child. Who wants to lose a child? No one wants to lose a child. You want to go before your child. But my child went before me, and it was excruciating. God set me up because he knew that I had to come out of it right away. And I didn't come out of it right away, but what he was doing, what he did, he put steps before me to take in the midst of my grieving. I was grieving two people. I was grieving the man that I loved. I mean, the man that had my heart. I was grieving him because he had died in 2020. Now my daughter died in 2021. I was grieving my niece, and she died in 20 the last of 2021. So I was grieving like three people that were very close to me. And so I was giving up. I was giving up. I couldn't take it. I thought God was being very mean to me. And as much faith as I have, I was angry. I was angry at God. I was angry because he was taking away things that I love. But he showed me later that I know you love them, but they're my kids. You did your job, but they're my kids. Like, you're my child, and you got to start doing what I've been told you to do. And I have loads of talents that I put on the back burner to raise a family. I got married out of high school. I had 7 children. I lost a baby, a twin at birth. I did all that. And I had like a early adult life, or early family life right out of high school. Didn't know what I was doing. I married my high school sweetheart. And and then that was devastating because 13 years later, I lost him. So I didn't think I was going to ever find love again. So I just poured into my kids. I poured into my kids. Yes, I knew how to draw. Yes, I was reading all the time. Yes, I knew how to sew. Yes, I knew how to write poems and make books and all kinds of stuff I was doing. Yes, I knew how to cook. Yes, all these things I knew how to do. And I never did any of them to share them to the 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 population. Never shared them to the population. I've been in church. I have stood up. I have sing. I have or sung. I have sung. I have wrote music. I All kinds of things that I know how to do, and I did it just raising 7 kids. Because when you got 7 kids, I mean 6 kids, you got to stay busy. You got to stay busy. You teaching them this and that and that and that and that. So I develop a lot of skills, and But now I have an empty nest. Now it's just me. But now, how do I get over the pain and do these things that God wants me to do? It was Carolyn that started the ball to roll. I didn't know what to do. I was devastated. I did not know what to do. And he started putting baby steps. Her story, during the time that I was writing her story, I didn't tell anybody. I was practically homeless. I was homeless. I was living in 2 rooms, that and the bathroom was just a toilet. But I couldn't let nobody know. I didn't want nobody to know because I couldn't work. I had to leave my job and I was traveling, setting up bed baths and beyond. So I've been living out of a hotel, just traveling from city to city, driving from city to city, and and setting up these places. So now I have to come back home and deal with my daughter, the pain from my daughter. I got on the road because I lost the man that I loved. And I got on the road because of that. Now I got to come back and deal with the pain of my daughter. And me and my whole family was devastated. All right, to get out of that, um, I went into her story too, and I started writing. And I haven't stopped yet. I'm still writing. I jot things down all the time. I come up with books. I come up with so many different things, but my trial haven't ended yet. I'm still doing steps. I'm still doing steps, even with the things that I did. I did her story, and I wanted to do book, a book signing. I could never get a book signing done. For one reason, I was scared that Carolyn was going to find out that I was practically homeless, because I was ashamed of that. And I didn't want her to see that I was living out of 2 rooms, in an old farmhouse. Um, Another reason was COVID had came in, and I live in a little hick town. I mean, when I say a hick town, where I live at now, if you blink your eyes twice, you've already gone through it. All we have here is a gas station, a post office, a Dollar General, and a railroad track.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
serious.
I had to comment on that one. You said if you blink twice, you miss it.
So God isolated my butt. He isolated me because I'm that helper. I'm always helping other people, but I won't do nothing to bring the gifts out of me, because with my family going through my family trauma, every time I tried to to show my family members, my siblings, what I had inside of me, they they knocked it. I mean, growing up, I was so bullied, tall and skinny, and freckles on the face, red hair. I was a mess. I was an olive oil, and I was a terrible, ugly duckling. And and
Far from it. Far from
when
it.
well, hey, I grew into this look.
It was all part of the setup. Listen,
I grew into this.
we all grew into our beauty. The beauty that was already there. Because the Lord said, "Child, if I show you some of my pictures, you're gonna be like, that's you." Yeah, I was a little pickaninny when I was little.
I know. I'm I'm gonna be 60 January the 9th. I know you brought up the number 9. I am waiting for you to tell about that number 9, because I I have just been laying dormant. I mean, for a long time I've been just dormant, and I've been pouring things into me to build myself up and to keep myself going all these years. And everybody come to my house. They say, "Your house look like grandma's house." Why you
See,
ain't got no new furniture? Why you ain't got no that? I love antiques, y'all. I love my
yeah,
grandma's house, and it keeps me balanced. It keeps me
oh,
balanced.
I like that word balance,
Yeah.
balance, balance. I mean, I like what you were saying, when you were talking about the setup, with meeting, for us encountering at the time that we did. We never know why God sets us up the way that we do when He uses everybody, right? So I want people to hear how all of us have a purpose, right? So God uses all of us in so many different ways,
Oh,
and I've seen you, Grace, afterwards, how you've, those steps, how they've blossomed, like your inner light has like shined
yeah.
out the wazoo, to the point, because I remember you were there and I kept saying, Grace is supposed to be here. Grace is supposed to be here. Gracie's supposed to be here. And you're like, oh, you was like, I'm right here. And I was like, oh my gosh, the whole time you were around me and I didn't even know,
I,
because
yeah.
you were like, I'm existing but not really, but you pushed and pressed. And
Mhm.
that's that, like we heard Supreme say, you push and you press. You don't know the how, you just push and you press. Like we got Andrea, she's just going to, we're going to probably hear her, but I'm going to add her to this conversation. She's also part of her story. And Andrea, I don't know if she got to
Yes,
unmute.
I'm here. Good
Girl,
evening.
yes, good evening. What you got? I know you've been listening and everything. What do you have to chime in with that?
Oh my goodness, it's just a joy being here and hearing everybody's journey and how, Carolyn, you have really listened to the call and you've been touching lives. You've you've touched lives that you are not even aware that you have touched. So just continue with that calling and continue to be led by spirit. Now, Grace, oh my goodness, Grace, indeed you are, because there's no way you can be anywhere close to 60. No way. So whatever it is, you've been preserved for purpose, and I just love your story. There's a reason for it. There are people who out there who just need to know to be encouraged, and that includes me, because when I think of my journey, and Carolyn know a bit about some personal things that I'm going through that a lot of people don't know. When I think of my journey and I listen to you, I feel like, hey, you know what? I'm a few years behind you, and I feel like, hey, no matter what it is, I haven't experienced the death of a close one. I still have my relatives and those who are closest to me, they're still alive. And it just goes to show that we just have so much to be grateful for, because when you think that whatever it is that you're going through, it's the worst, you don't know what else other people are going through on their journey. And even with that said, Carolyn had mentioned earlier about that one word, is it that you would use to take you through the new year, that one word that would push you through. And I really do have to sit down and ponder about that, because trying to get on here this evening, from the time that Carolyn connected with me, it was as if the enemy was trying not to let me get on. There were so many obstacles. Could not even get onto my account, could not get on via my phone or whatever it is. So sometimes the enemy tries to stop you because you have your story and you have people. You might not meet or you might not touch 1,000 people, but you might just touch that one person with whatever it is that you're going through, that you will be able to literally help them to have that encouragement to go through another day. So yet I'm looking for my word for 2024. I haven't quite found it yet, but I know that right now I'm feeling just hope, because Grace, you have given me hope. You are such a strong, wonderful person that have been able to persevere no matter what. And what you have shown me, and I'm sure what you're showing a lot of other people, that no matter what is going on, there is hope. As long as we have life, as long as we're able to breathe, we still have hope. Even when we've lost loved ones along the way, there's a purpose that their journey have ended because they would have fulfilled whatever purpose that they have, and you're still here because you're still yet to fulfill that purpose that you are called for. So, Grace, thank you so much for your story. And I am just feeling, just listening to you this evening, I've right now been a seed of hope has been planted in my life. And I just want to encourage the listeners to just whatever it is that you're going through, continue to persevere and continue to look for hope. And I just want to encourage Carolyn to continue to do whatever it is that you are doing.
Hmm.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. I mean,
Amen. It's cold in here, y'all. That's why y'all see me wrap up.
that's quite all right. That's quite all right. I mean, this is literally a faith walk. If anyone has heard from what I'm calling him Supreme, but what you heard him say, and what Grace has said, and what Andrea said, and if you even heard what I said, and if you got through all of the if you got to this point, then I know that you stayed with us, right? Because we had some technical difficulties. I got knocked out several times. Andrea couldn't get in. Several people are letting me know they can't get in. Things got shut down. Like, whatever the case is, we got to keep dancing. We have to keep going even when the music stops, right? And we learned that on Saturday. You don't dance with the music dances with you. And there's a story behind that. So Carol, who was our praise dancer, to set the tone for the room, for the conference, just kind of put us in this space. And the song that she chose, or that was given to her, she didn't choose, it was given to her, because she asked me what song. And I said, you choose. And so God told her, said, Gracefully Broken. By Tasha Cobbs, Gracefully Broken. Gracefully Broken. And with all of the technical difficulties that were happening, it got to a point where I just had to, I'm like, I surrender. I'm not supposed to record nothing. I'm supposed to just sit here. Okay, let's be gracefully broken in this space. She came up, it was her time to come up. We finally got some connections. We finally was about to get started. And then the picture was there. The picture was there for her to get started. But the song was a totally different version. The picture was there of the song, the right artist, but the version was not the same. And see, that goes to show, it's like, okay, we hear and we get direction, but who's giving it to you? She stopped and immediately understood that that's not it. It's the right song, but it's not the right voice. So then things kind of cleared up. Then the right song came in. We figured out a way for it to play. She gets out, she starts to dance, and then it goes out because it went into airplane mode or something. Like, we had so many things taken over. It was like a takeover. But yet, Supreme, what she do? She kept dancing.
On dancing.
She kept on dancing.
Right on time. On beat.
Right on time. The music caught up to her. The music caught up to her, not the other way around. She didn't stop. She kept dancing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got to do in life. We got to keep dancing, keep moving, keep grooving, right? Keep dreaming, keep believing, keep having hope. I mean, you got to be relentless in all of this, right? And I'm seeing Relentless back there. I'm waiting for him to nod his head. That was kind of like a cue, but okay, there you go. All right. Because I'm trying to cue him in. So I want to make sure he don't just pop in. So we got Lamar right here. He popped in with us. He was also part of he was there in person on Saturday. So let's just break this down. So we have Grace, who, we talk about being, gracefully broken. We heard from her. I part of the recap is I wanted to provide another space to kind of just go over what occurred this past week, and then also for those who for whatever reason, kept them from being here, for whatever the case may have been. I know Grace was connecting, but it wasn't connecting, or she was there, and then when it was time to pull her up, she was gone. So I was like, no, you got to come back so we can recap this thing. And look at the blessing that we got. We got hope. Andrea was with us, and even tonight she was like, listen, I can't get on. I said, listen, but we have your voice. We have your voice. And I thank you for that. Then I said, Supreme, you got to come on, like, and to share the story that you shared with all of us about, believing in what you see, seeing this vision and placing yourself there and knowing how much and watching the thing go full circle. Just when you think that this is the moment, you're like, no, there's still more, because there's always a setup. It's always a setup. And now we go to Relentless. We got Lamar on here, the setup with the hymn story and the Why Men Don't Talk panel. That just has a whole lifeline to itself. So that's how the book was birthed out of that. So Lamar, you've been part of this whole, we talking about year 9, and Grace, I pulled up 9. I'm gonna get to 9. We're gonna close out the definition for 9 just for you. So Lamar, as we're recapping, like, I don't know what you heard from when you popped on before, but you've been part of CYWC, outside of, WBNC, out of this panel that's here the longest. So you've been part of it since year 3, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, since year 3. So walk us through this evolution, just what it's meant to you and what people, what you witness people get from it. And then just even what, we did for that panel, like on Saturday. I know it's a loaded question, but I'm gonna let you rock with it. Whatever spirit tells you to share.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up? Always ever since I met you, that's 6-7 years ago, Karen. Like I said, you always had this belief in people, belief in honoring people, and I've always appreciate that, because I believe, life, for a lot of us, with our color around the world is tough, and I believe that we don't celebrate each other enough, or celebrate something every day in our life. You know what I'm saying? And I've always believe in what you're doing. You know what I mean? CYWC, because you taking the time to honor other people, and you make it bigger than yourself, and success is way bigger than yourself, right? And you have your purpose, and you line your purpose up with your passion, and your passions will make your profits, and your profits will make you prosperity, and with prosperity you have your full peace, just like I was saying there when I spoke. So it's just those things are just a line up. But I love coming because the individuals that are invited, those who share their deep stories, the inspiration, not just motivation. I believe inspiration is a seed that you spread light on, and you also give it sunlight so it can just grow. So I believe that the conference in which you bring for those is inspiration. And what I got out of this is just like you said, is like my author name, my nickname is Relentless. It's like things might not have been going as planned initially, but you fought and you found a way through everything. Like from the praise dance, like you were just talking about, just how the music stopped, but it just kept going. And that's a true bar, and that's a true fact in life. I was speaking to my 8-year-old daughter the other day, and she had on Thursday yesterday she had a play that she was doing, and she worked very hard. She practiced, and she was excited. She knew other people's lines, and then while she was about to perform, in front of people and being nervous, at the same time there was a young man who took her line, and it threw her off, and she was very upset, and she had like a slight meltdown because it kind of threw her off. So what I was talking to her, of course, I wasn't glad that it happened, but at the same time, I was trying to tell her that it's a lesson. And when you, especially when you're doing something live, you don't know what can happen. Things may not work, lighting may be off, sound might be off. You just got to keep going and keep moving and keep being relentless and just keep doing what you're doing. So I was explaining to her, hey, listen, this young man stole your line, but focus on you and what you have to do. No matter what happens, no matter what storms that you're facing. And some of us, we face storms every day, every week, every month, but we all know those storms go away. So I'm just encouraging everybody to just, we at the end of the year. I want everybody to look at the great things that they have done, and I want to look at the things that they had to overcome, and I want them to think about the things that they weren't able to get done and figure out why, and understand that you move in a wave. I love this conference because you get the chance to like really sit down, meet individuals, sit down, talk to, like I was talking to Supreme. I was talking to a lot of people there and just like really just picking their brain and feeling the love. So it's very important to do that this time of year. But I love love the conference because it's just an opportunity for people to be celebrated, for their story and for their life and their different accomplishments. So I salute everybody on here, those who definitely were a part of it, and we got 10 years. I got the ace coming up. We got to get it right. You know what I mean, to the greatest point. So, but it's a pleasure. It's always great coming, and that's why I love being a part of it. It's just a beautiful thing. So, yeah, and the panel was, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy dope, and it was joyous. It was beautiful. The awards, becoming an international speaker. I thank you very much, Carolyn, for being in the Bahamas. We spoke to some great individuals, and we were serving the youth out there, and the orphanage, and that was a great experience. And that's what it's about, when you serve. My line is, when you serve, you get what you deserve. So you know what I mean, and that's real.
That hit home to frame, didn't it? You was like,
Yeah. I'm gonna steal stuff. I'm gonna steal a lot of people lines. Y'all gonna have one big. You're gonna be like, that's my line, and then next wrote that. He wrote that.
Just say Lamar. Just say relentless.
I get credit for him.
Just
A lot of people have great lines, man.
Thank you.
Good inspiration and great lines, and I can't wait for 10.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, yo, you wait. 10 is gonna be incredible.
Man, what?
I see that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I see it too. Thank you. We all do. We all putting that energy into it. So Grace, for you. So 9. There's several. Where did it just go? There's several things for 9, but the one that I want to point out, it's saying that it's indicating that it's time to end a phase, a situation, something in whatever your life is just not serving you in a positive way. And then just rest assured that this newness that enters into your life, it will enhance, it will benefit, it will make your lifestyle enhanced and elevate in so many different ways. Hence the setup, right? In so many different ways. It prepares. It's like 9 is about preparing yourself to continue to be compassionate, just to be who you are, to continue to be thoughtful and to be of service, to service to others as you lead by example, by the things that you do. That's the 9. The 9 is the setup. The 9 is the setup for the things that are greater. We know 8, well, we don't know, but 8 is they're about new beginnings, right? Because it's allowing you to get transformed into things that are new. That's why we can say last year it's happening, right? It was still happening, even though, Andrea could talk about, we had some it's happening moments in Jacksonville, Florida, didn't we? We had some happening moments in South Carolina, because we kept trying to make South Carolina happen, but it's going to happen. It's just not happening when we say it's going to happen. And Andrea, like you said, we had some it's happening moments down there, right?
Oh, yes, up to including Mother Nature.
When you plan an outside event and it pours raining, that part.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
But beautiful, beautiful. But it's literally about, stepping into your soul purpose, Grace. 9, stepping into your soul purpose and continuing to do the work with your healing, continue to work to just share, in a conscious effort and manner to just continue to light up the world. And in order for us to do that, you have to go through this process. You have to trust. You have to go through all of the steps. You have to go through all the things that were keeping us from Saturday, keeping us from tonight, keeping us from anything in our lives. We got to keep dancing. We have to press forward. We have to keep it moving no matter what, because it's happening, because it's the setup, because it's time to elevate, because we have to be transformed, because we have to live fearlessly free. Like I'm just sitting here going back over all of the themes over the years, and they're just all part of it, right? Her story, being healed, empowered, resilient. Like listen, where God, what you say, Supreme, where God provides, where he what?
Where God guides, he provides.
Where he provides. Yes. And he guided me to all these places and spaces, and he provided in every single space. So Grace, I understand, don't feel embarrassed about things, right? When,
I'm not
when
embarrassed now. I just
God
didn't.
provides, if he
I'm not.
guides, he'll provide. Yeah. So it's gonna happen. It's happening because God already showed me, told me I'm gonna be where everybody's at. I just don't know how or when. I just know what. So trust and believe. If I could show you guys where this is a faith walk. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a faith walk. When people would ask me, and I'll say this again, when people would ask me, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm like, even when I was working with Supreme, I was like, listen, it's faith. I can't really teach. I was telling God, I was like, I can't teach people faith. Like, you won't believe in what you believe in. But God told me, all right, this is how you're going to teach them. Show them. That's it. So what you see is what you get. It's a faith walk. It's a faith walk like on God. It's a crazy faith. It's a crazy magnified faith. Because I can't explain any of this stuff. But yet, being able to be blessed to travel, literally around the world. And I said, okay, this is where I'm going. Okay. I don't know how I'm getting there, but it's getting there. Okay, we're gonna do this conference. What? Are you sure we don't have that much time? Nope. Go ahead and press forward. Do it. God knew the setup. I just didn't know. And all of us were part of it because it's a setup for each and every one of us and the things in our lives. Like we heard Grace talk about. She didn't know. And to see the things, all the things that she's done behind the scenes, not just her story. She done the series. She's part of, I'm the writer. She got a certification. She's right. She hasn't stopped. She hasn't stopped. And that moment was trying to stop her. But yet she found a way to get in the car, and I'm going to drive. I don't know why I'm driving up here. I don't know why I got to go up here, but I'm just going to go. Okay, this sounds nice. Okay, Les Brown going to be there. All right. But I don't really feel like it. But she drove and she came. She pressed forward, right?
Yeah.
And look at her now. Look at her, even though she's cold, but look at her. We're gonna send her some heat. We're gonna send her some water.
Please. Please send me some heat.
Yes,
I live in a farmhouse, y'all, and it's not one of those renovated farmhouses. Wood heater in it, and
listen.
Now my other 2 rooms, I'm still living in 2 rooms in the wintertime because those are the only 2 rooms that really be warm. And my office right here, and my office be chilly all the time in here.
No explanation needed. Lord knows, Lord, no explanation needed. Listen, we had Monique jump on earlier. We had, some other folks that was trying to jump on and saying had the same issues that Andrea had. And the message behind this is, the setup is in all of us, and we just have to keep going and we have to keep dancing. So I don't know if there's any last words that you guys have before we can just close this thing out as we get ready for year 10. Okay, I'm sorry.
I want to say this. It says the number 9 is linked to enlightenment, compassion, new adventures, risk taking, deep emotions, and connections with those you love. It's a number that is rich with positive energy and is sure to have an impact on your life path. So just wanted to add that in. I just seen that. And then number 10.
Oh, what's 10? Then look up 10.
It says it's the angel number 10 is related to change and shifts in thinking. Can show up to remind us of the importance of cultivating positive energy as a way of drawing positive energy towards you. It also talks of old cycles ending so new spiritual awakenings can begin.
There's that word again, shift.
Mm-hmm.
There's that word again, shift.
So
I think I already know the theme for next year.
That's what I wanted. That's why I put it out there. So you can start thinking about it right now.
The shift. Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Set up to the shift. Yeah.
Definitely the shift. Look, Supreme, like, yes.
Shift. Yeah, I'm shifting and shaping.
Oh,
there you go.
Shifting and shaping. Man.
Hey, look, I got you 2-on-1. Just have some shirts that say I'm the shift.
Look at Grace. Grace is like,
I'm the shift.
You can't always see it. You might be on my eyebrow. But
I know. She was like, ooh.
Yeah, I like that. There you go.
All right, we're gonna have to keep those conversations behind it. Because we got to strategize this thing. But listen, thank you guys for just staying on with us and getting through all of the processes and all of the situations and all the stuff that was happening, the interferences. But where we strive, we're gonna press through and we're gonna make sure that anybody that's supposed to get this message, they stay with it. They'll get it. They will get it wherever they jump on. They will get it. They will get it. So, Andrea, any last words you have? I'll tell you until she comes back on. Gracie, any last words you might have?
yes. I make my own lotion that is organic and natural. I make my own hair oil and beard oil right here. So if y'all get on my Facebook page and follow me, you'll be able to see it. It's organic, it's 100% natural. This is all I've ever been using for 12 years. And I decided my setup was to get it to get me back in the books so that I would be able to come up with this recipe that is organic, natural, and it hits everything on your skin. I have on no makeup on my face.
That's why you look like that. Okay.
All I have on is lipstick, a little brow pencil, and some eyeliner and some mascara. That's it.
That's the secret, y'all. That's the secret.
This is me, my face. And when somebody asks me, well, what do you do? What do you do? I said I tweaked my diet and I make my own hair products. That stuff on the shelf is not made for us. We are earth people. We need earth products. So please order from me, y'all.
Well, you got Juanita said you're glowing.
Yes, she is. Guys, I had a call that came in, so forgive me for that.
No
Grace,
problem.
definitely, again, I say, whatever you're doing, keep it up. I, like you, I definitely do believe in the earth products, and that's exactly what I've been doing, trying to be as organic as I possibly can. And just using the word organic in closing, I just want to encourage all the listeners, my fellow writers, we are all family. Him story, her story, all the stories, we're all families because I we have all been, I would say, connected, and we've been connected to a root, a strong root, which is Caroline, who is connected to the strongest root, which is our Father, our Creator. So I just want to encourage you all to, as we go move forward in the new year, we have year 9, which has been really wonderful, and we know that year 10 is going to be much better. And I just want to encourage you all to continue to have that seed of hope planted within your hearts, and continue to be organic, continue to be your true awesome self, and continue to hold on to our root, and keep focused on what is it that we have been called to do, because at the end of the day, when we're still here, it means that we have a greater purpose. We have not fulfilled the purpose that has been called by the Almighty for our lives. So whatever it is, we will have distractions. Distractions will come in the form of problems. It will come in the form of sickness sometimes. It will come in all forms of different ways, sometimes even in the death of loved ones, like Grace would have faced. But whatever it is, we just have to continue to put our best foot forward and understand that once we are still alive, it means that there is some purpose that we have to fulfill. And we've been called with this big mantle to really and truly be able to help a lot of people. Our voices, we have been able to use our voices to touch the lives of other people, and it's for a reason. So I just want to encourage the listeners and my fellow book writers, co-authors, etc., to just continue to stay strong, because we are united and we have already overcome, and we know and we understand what is it to fight a battle. So it only makes us stronger. So whatever it is that 2024 have for us, continue to move forward and continue to be a blessing to others.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen. 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 So we got bookends. Thank you, Andrea. Listen, we got bookends with our king. So Lamar kicked us off. Supreme, I'm passing it to you. You could take us out.
Basically, like I said, the book that I wrote, which is a birth of a blessing, thanks to having you as I guess, a midwife, is where I'm from, past history, and accompanied by EP. We just shot a beautiful video for past history. Is awesome, an incredible video, great message. Like I said, the also in year 8 that I got to perform was the combating murder, death, kill music with life, love, and inspiration music. That's where I feel like I'm on, and I feel like this book and this album is right in line with that of being a blessing through music, a blessing through what you read, and becoming not only an author, which I also forget to give myself credit for being an author, is which my mother always said I was one. I was like, I don't know.
Best-selling author.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I'm also a best-selling author. So I mean, just all this is like overwhelming because it all became. It was a dream that became realized and provided to be able to be realized. So, like I said, man, I'm just looking forward to the lives that these songs, these books, these everything, the people that are connected to you. I'm waiting to see how we change the world, really change the world after we've been through the trials and the tribulations and the fire to be tested. Like now, I think the work really begins. So, like, I think it begins at 10. You know what I'm saying? I think it was
Mm.
to get to this point, and we just looking forward to everything that the next year holds and the lives that'll be changed. We're inspirations and we're inspiring.
Wow. Wow. It's like all the we're all in position.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in position. Yeah, that's what I got out of that. We're all in position
Locked,
all around the world.
locked and loaded.
We're
Ready?
locked and loaded. We're all in position. We
Yeah.
ready. We ready. I tell everybody, be ready. Be ready. Be ready. Well, I thank you. We got Juanita. I was saying, listen, you guys got it. She hung out with us. Thank you so much. She said she got it. Thank you all. She stood tight even with our technical difficulties. But listen, Grace, love you. Andrea, same here. Lamar, man, yes. Love all of you, Supreme. Thank you so much for taking the time to just come on with us tonight to recap something that was definitely in God's plan and not mine. No matter how I tried to make it mine, I was quickly reminded who was in control. I was quickly reminded, right? So being gracefully broken, right? But to learn to keep dancing and let the music catch up to me.
Yeah.
There we go. Let the music catch up. Let the music catch up. So as I close out, I'm gonna put y'all backstage. I'm gonna say we can kind of chat after the fact, but I'm gonna close this out until then. So I will see you guys in a second. I will see you guys in a second. So listen, you guys, thank you so much for just this journey of celebrating all of you. Um we heard from Lamar what 9. We heard me and from Lamar what number 9 means. This is I still can't even grasp that this was year 9. Like 9 already happened, and now we're getting ready to go into the next phase, the next season, and that's for 10, where the shift is going to happen or has already happened. It's begun, and as you heard Supreme say, that's where things are really going to start to change. But we're all in position, and if you've been in this space in any way, shape, or form, and you wish to continue to join us, listen, you know how to reach me. Just put it, put your information in the chat, whatever. You contact me, go to my link tree. I think it's on here somewhere. And then let's just have a conversation to see how you could be part of this growing, everlasting family of the her too, the him story movement that has been created out of all of this, just based on the power of our stories. So if you want anything, just know that you got a whole brother and sisterhood right there with you. So listen, 9 is where it's at, and it's so funny. This just popped out at me because we talked about dreams, and this is right here. It's right in front of me. I don't know if you can see it. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams, because that's where God is leading you. God is leading you to those things, and He will provide every single time. So listen, I will be going out with music, but there's some technical stuff. I don't want to touch anything else because I don't want to mess it up. So listen, thank you. Here's the year 9 celebrating you. Women's Conference at Expo officially down in the books. Just doing a recap. Thank you guys. See you later. Thanks for all my speakers. Thanks to all the vendors. Thank you to all the sponsors. Listen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peace out.